Hello, everyone. This is Barbara Friesen, and this is segment 2 of our series, Grieving Out of the Box. And this segment, I'm going to walk you through 5 tools that you actually need in your toolbox to help you through a grieving process. And the first tool is that when you've lost someone through death, it's important that you create a meaningful ritual around that person's death. And I don't mean like a celebration of life or a funeral. I mean a ritual that is deeply meaningful to you and very symbolic of the relationship you have with the person that died. And rituals can take a variety of forms. There's a couple of things that I think are important to keep in mind. First of all, it has to be a ritual that's doable. So it's something that is easily accessible to you. And it also has to be something that it is very meaningful for you. So this can take a variety of forms. It can be a special shrine that you make for the person that you can visit regularly. It could be in your house. It could be outside somewhere in the forest, or somewhere that was meaningful to the person, or maybe a location that you visited together that was really meaningful to you, where you shared a lot of memories. It really doesn't matter what it is. It really is important, however, that that you honor this ritual on a regular basis, and it'll help you to continue to feel connected to the person that you've lost. The second tool that I think is important to have in your grieving toolbox is you need to assemble a team. And these are people that are truly in your corner. These are people that show up even when you don't ask them to. And they're people that understand the grieving process and are not trying to distract you. So a couple of criteria that I would say are important in assembling a team. It really doesn't matter how big your team is, but I think it's important that there's at least one person in your team that has been through a major loss in their life and understands what the grieving process is all about. And the other criteria is that the people on your team have to be accessible to you. So there needs to be a way that you communicate regularly. I would suggest that you communicate with at least one of your team every day. And this will help you feel connected to the world. And when you feel connected to the world, it will help you to get through the grieving process, because you know that there are people there that have your back. Very important. The third thing is a tool that I think we need is to keep our expectations reasonable. That means keeping expectations of yourself reasonable. As I mentioned in the last segment, there's often an impulse to get into busy mode quickly, to get back into your usual activities and routine quickly. And that almost always doesn't serve us very well, because it means that we're not giving ourselves the space and time we need to grieve. So you need to give yourself that space and honor your need to grieve. It's also important that the people on your team of support people, it's important that you share experiences of the person that's been lost. They need to be people that understood and had a relationship with the person that you've lost, so that you can share memories and experiences. This can be very healing. And don't be afraid to ask people for help. If you have the right people on your team, they'll be more than happy to help you. The other part of expectations is having reasonable expectations of other people. And even though your support team has your back, your support team is not a substitute for a therapist or a grief coach. And I think it's important to understand that sometimes we get stuck in our grief. Grieving can be very difficult, can be complex. And when you get stuck, it's important to ask for professional help. And it's okay to ask your support team what they think. Sometimes they can be the best people to let you know when they think that uh, you could use the help of a professional to get you through a really tough piece. And the fourth thing is that you need to develop at least one thing that you do every day that is healing for you personally. And again, this is not about distracting yourself. It's about nurturing yourself. So whatever it is that you choose, it has to be something that nurtures your soul, heart, mind, and body. And this, again, can take a variety of forms. It could be something that you do that takes you out into the woods. It could be something that you do that takes you near water. It could be any number of spiritual practices that you develop. It could be a yoga practice. It could be doing some healing work with a Reiki therapist or hands-on healing person. It can take a variety of forms, but always keep in mind that it needs to be something that is truly nurturing and something that you commit to do every day. So it has to be something that's doable in every day, and make a commitment to yourself to practice every day and spend a little bit more time every day doing it. So for example, if you have a meditation practice that you've just started, you may start out with 10 minutes a day. You gradually increase that so that you may be practicing 30 minutes a day. And over time, that gets to be a very important practice in your life and can serve you really well throughout your life. So I highly recommend that you spend that time doing something for yourself. And the fifth tool is, I think it's important that you spend quality time every day grieving. And you may think that sounds a little odd because aren't you grieving all the time? But I think it serves two purposes to have a specific time every day that you grieve. First of all, it allows you quality time to really feel sad and really experience the loss. And the other aspect of it is that it allows you time to feel and experience other things in your life. You're still honoring your loss, but you're also honoring yourself by freeing up some emotional space to have other experiences in the day. So the grieving time needs to be very intentional. It needs to be without interruption. And you could spend time with prized possessions that the person has left you. It could be any number of rituals that you have around this grieving time. But it needs to be sacred, and it needs to be practiced every day with intention and focus. We heal through feeling. And it is through feeling the depth of our loss that we accrue the wisdom and the strength to move forward. This can also involve having a journal that you write in every day and record your healing journey. That can be extremely healing as well. So those are my 5 essential tools to have in the toolbox. And I hope you've enjoyed this series. And the next series, we're going to talk about how to grieve during a pandemic. So I'll look forward to seeing you then. I'm Barbara Friesen. I'm a grief coach, and my contact information is with you in this recording. Thank you.